InterFaith Works, Catholic Charities, and our many community partners have worked together for decades to make Syracuse a national best practices refugee resettlement city. Congregations, every level of government, businesses, and community organizations welcome, educate, provide healthcare, training, and jobs in this community-wide humanitarian effort. The 2014 Interfaith Leadership Award honorees are all refugees who have come to Syracuse and played leadership roles in our community. Diana Alvarez, Hamad Haroun, Om Katel, Immaculée Kiongdwa and Joseph Mpinga, Muaddin Sheikh Muhammad, Hussein Musa, Abdulbasit Salman, Mirza Teach, Ishmael Wadeso. People have many different paths that they take to get here depending on what has caused them to become a refugee, whether they've come out of famine or they've come out of a war or out of political repression. But the first step is making that decision that they have to flee. It could be because their life is in danger, because they've been targeted because of their ethnicity, or because the war has come closer. The first step is really that running, getting out.
Whomever you call American, except the Native Americans, their great-great-great-grandparents came from another country. They were a lot like us. Many of them were refugees.
We like to talk about our history in our countries. Also, we have talked how feeling, the life change. It's different words. We try to save our future, our life.
Say it was a painful day because you have family members and friends standing there in front of you and seeing you leaving and you leaving them. It was kind of a hard, it was a painful feeling, and as a young child, you seeing that it hurts,
You build your house and the bathroom outside,
yeah.
You dig a hole, a small house for the bathroom. Just by digging the hole, you see the mineral over there. So the Congo is a very, very rich country, and it's because of that people are fighting.
And there was a rumor, and you can see all the towns, maybe 30, 40 miles away, already burning, and you hear people are being killed. Doesn't matter who they were, as long as they had a Muslim name, they were killed. So no matter if you belonged to a certain party, it wasn't about party or politics, it was just this propaganda of ethnic cleansing.
The life in our country become for us impossible. A lot of my friends, my relatives, some of them, they assassinated because of the situation or because the religion conflict.
Sometimes we think that our country is the worst, probably, or we live in a place really sad with a bad life, but then you hear somebody else talking their own story, and kind of you feel lucky to be there. Doesn't matter if it was bad or sad, probably somebody have a sad.
Where I was born, it was like a village. There was hardship in there, but it wasn't as bad as people right now when we talk to them on the phone. The way they explain it to us and tell us their problems is it breaks hearts,
So they end up in a refugee camp, and at that point they wait. Many of the refugees that we see in Syracuse today that have come over the last period of time actually were in that refugee camp for 18 to 20 years, some of them born in that camp and came with their parents here.
Actually, I am from Bhutan. My country is Bhutan. I born there and I study in my country. And due to the political situation, we have to leave our country, and we all family with my family. We live in a refugee camp, like almost 18, 19 years in a small hut.
Sometimes we get travel notice 24 to 48 hours ahead. And then we get busy. We choose an apartment for the family, we furnish it with largely donated items, we stock the refrigerator with culturally appropriate food, we arrange for a hot meal to be ready when they return from the airport, and we send someone to pick them up at the airport, and that someone must either have or be accompanied by someone who speaks their native language. And then we bring them home.
Family, so you grow up really around the kin, around friends, and then suddenly everything's gone, you're a stranger.
A lot InterFaith workers, two people is coming over there. All is very cry. Why? Because I am long time come to my 6th year come to I don't see my family. Very cry. Hope everything is a cry. Why? Because I am first time come after 7 years I see my family come to I am cry. All my children cry. All people is cry.
Some of them don't speak the language, don't speak English. So they want to find somebody that they can connect with, that can just even at a basic level translate to them, translate their needs.
I feel really welcomed, you know, and actually when I came first time to the office, InterFaith office, it was really nice and everybody talked to me and they explain us how to use the bus, go to buy groceries and everything, so they were really helpful.
We arrived to Syracuse. That time we feel like wonderful or terrible. Oh, it is a different country. How can we adjust here? We have a different language and we have a different religion, everything. Oh, it is, we think, that time I think that it will be difficult. We got knowledge from InterFaith from the beginning. And slowly, now we adjusted. Now we feel very nice in US.
And the refugee program tell to me, when you turn back home, you will lose everything, and you will die. What I can say, but you will lose your life. We don't turn back home. We do to give you opportunity to go start new life. And
we gain so much from having them with us. And when they celebrate something like graduations of the children or some big event, the dances come out and all of these wonderful things happen. So they have given us a new look at what can be the life after a refugee comes to our country.
I can say in France, il y a une attraction. So they need me, I need them. So we are just like hug ourselves. My kids, they play with their kids. They come even to my house to sleep over. They like African food too. They say, we need to taste African food. When just they taste them, they say, oh, this is very, very good.
It's a mandate of being a Christian to give help to the sojourner, the foreigner, the stranger, the person who needs help is from another country.
Part of the religious duties, the essential religious duties of dealing with others is to help the newly arriving people, help the strangers, and also to deal with others the way we would like to be dealt with ourselves. So this is it is not just a luxury, it's an obligation on Muslims to help others.
Every faith community has a component of it that speaks to welcoming the stranger, to bringing people, finding people who are hungry, who are without clothes, who are in danger, who are in fear, and ministering to them. Doesn't matter if we're Muslim or Jewish or Christian or Sikh or Baha'i, there is a message in our faith traditions around caring for one another in times when we are in trouble. Becoming a best practices refugee resettlement city has been very important for economic growth in our community. Refugees are the people who have survived. They are the people who have made it out of their countries, have made it here. And so they're very motivated. They know there's no back door, there's no escape hatch for them, and they're very motivated to get their educations, to get citizenship, to open businesses, to buy homes, to work hard for the future of their families and their generations.
Our business community on the north side needs to reflect our ethnic communities, and so helping our refugees and other neighborhood residents start their own businesses, and we believe that business development is also a really critical part. And so, you know, between workforce and business development, we spend a lot of our time and resources and bring on a ton of different partners to do that work.
We started working with the refugee resettlement program, and as a result, we have a lot of people that represent 36 nationalities here who are thrilled to be given an opportunity, to have a door being opened for them.
InterFaith Works and Catholic Charities collaborate on a food service training program, affectionately called the Pizza Grant. We collaborate on several employment programs funded through New York State Bureau of Refugee and Immigrant Affairs, and we collaborate on some immigration and citizenship programs.
And working with groups like Syracuse Grows, the school district and others to start community gardens, for instance, and help refugees reclaim what is often an agricultural heritage, but also to transform blighted and vacant lots, produce their own vegetables. You know, that's another example of ways that we, you know, want to build upon their skills and assets and you know, produce something that's transformative.
What happens for refugees is they look at us as Americans and they say, how are we formulated? How do we make it in the world? How do we create the right things for our people? And they realize that what we do as Americans is we associate.
But here in America is better because now I go to study and I will go to job and I will communicate with many people I never seen before in my life, and we have discussed what is happening before and what is happening now and what will be happening for future. We came together and we agreed. We all in one community and we listening to each other. If there is some problem, we're gonna discuss and solve it.
So I am here, I am peacefully. My children, they are doing well. I am working to establish myself also to build something for now and for the future for my children.
That it's a blessing for me to have my family here. I'm very blessed. One of my daughters, she finished her school at Obad and William Smith, 4 years colleges. One now he's in Buffalo State Colleges, one is in Cortland, and one was at Lemoyne College, where Joseph is working. And myself, I'm working at Krause Hospital.
It's a blessed, actually, because I've gone through so much to come here, and I've been here just a year. And in a year, I have made so much that I think I owe so much already to this country. And someday I hope I can give back.
As we've been moving towards creating the Center for Dialogue, which is really about building our democracy, it's so much clearer to us how the refugees help us do that.
Honestly, being here to me is like waking up in my dream, you know, like it's like I'm here in a land of opportunity, you know, like I have a chance of getting things that I wish that I could there and never could, you know, like a dream that I could never reach. But here I have an opportunity and a chance that I can almost do anything I want, you know.
Thank you for the United States government to bring us in this country to get the life changes from United States.
maybe my definition of American dream is different than somebody else's. I'm not making millions, but really I think I have a good life, sustainable life.
mahadsanidin all government in United States and mahadsanidin all New York State government, and also I say mahadsanidin all workers InterFaith. Also I say mahadsanidin Channel 9 today with us to give us this chance.
I am now new American in Africa, in Congo. Now I am not a refugee now. Now I am citizen.